Hello, everyone, and thank you for watching Fayetteville Public Utilities Channel 6. I'm Sarah McYoung, and today we're on location at the Fayetteville Lincoln County Museum, and we're talking with some of the Carriage House Players, getting ready for the upcoming Carriage House play that will be coming on very shortly. But we will let Miss Carissa Spears tell you a little bit about the upcoming play and tell us about what we can expect.
All right. I'm directing this play along with Sonia Bradford. We've done several shows together as a directorial team. The script that we have for this Shakespeare, Much Ado About Nothing. Did we say the title? Much Ado About Nothing. That's our play. It is Shakespeare. We did have it edited for the stage by our script advisor, Laura Spears. And we do open November the 7th here at the museum. So our dates are the 7th, 8th, and 9th, and then again on the 14th, 15th, 16th. The shows begin at 7 p.m. each night. You can get tickets. I'll go ahead and say that, and maybe we can repeat it at the end. You can get your tickets at any of our outlets, which are Bagley & Bagley Insurance, Carter's Drug Store, the Flower House. Or you can charge your tickets to your credit card by calling our hotline, which is 433-1300. And someone can help you, assist you with that. You can pay for those on the hotline and then pick them up that evening of the show at the door.
All right, and how much are tickets?
Tickets are $15 for adults, $8 for students. That's any student, so that does go up through the college level. There's not a child's ticket, so really it's 15 or 8.
Is there anything that we need to tell folks at home? You know, you mentioned children. Would children enjoy this, or is this not a children's play?
Probably not a young children's play. Some children, I think, would enjoy this. Very much is what I've been calling a rom-com, okay? It is a romantic comedy, but there's a good bit of drama in it. Some things might be a little intense for the young children, but you never know. Mine started young, enjoying stage productions. So if you would like to know more, you can always contact us. We can give you a little bit more about what will take place on stage, so that you can make an informed decision.
All right, we love that. And let's talk about this is what year? This is the last play of this season, and Carriage House Players has been around for a long, long time.
Right, since 1987. So good while. My family, we've been involved since 95, I believe it was. Our first go round with that, and it has become a family affair through the years. And my whole family is in the play with me directing, and the three of them on stage.
All right, and how many folks different characters are there in this play?
We have 19 characters. We always have a little challenge within our theater troupe of getting enough men, and this was a challenge. We have 15 men and 4 women in this cast. We're excited to have some new faces. We have some faces that are back with us. Bob Scott, who some in the community may recall teaching drama years ago at Lincoln County High School. So he's no stranger to the stage, but he's returning, making his return to the Carriage House stage in the character of Dogberry, if you're familiar with this story. And we're glad to have him back. Always great to have the new faces that come on board. I'd be glad to share the cast list if that's something you would like me to do, so we can get these folks' names out there.
Absolutely.
People watching may say, oh, that's my neighbor. I want to go see him or her on stage. So what we have in the cast is Justin Lindley. He is new to us from Lynchburg area, and he's playing Benedict. Laura Spears is Beatrice. Kyle Spears is Leonardo. Lance Carter is playing Don Pedro, and Ben Spears is Claudio. We have another newbie, Glory Sipper, and she's playing the character of Hero. Bob Scott, that I mentioned earlier, is Dogberry. Elliot Hill, he is new to our stage, and he is Don John. Also, another newbie is Sebastian Evans, playing the character of Baraccio. We have returning Lonnie Abels as Antonio, Henry Webb as Conrad, W.C. Quick playing Vergis, Alyssa Clark as Ursula, Scott Wingard as Friar Francis. He returned to the CHP stage in the production of Shrek, if I'm not mistaken, and he had done some things in his earlier years, and we're glad to have him back. Colin Stewart is another new one. He's playing the messenger. Zalia Wingard is Margaret. Stuart Barnes is George Seacole. Cody Kimbrough is the Watchman. And rounding it out is another new face, Mike Stillman, playing the Sexton. So it's a wonderful cast, a nice mix of young and old, as well as new and returning folks to our stage. And they've worked hard, and we just had a nice little rehearsal last night where I said, we have got a show. So we are ready for you all to come to see us. And I think you're going to enjoy it.
All right. Well, let's interview some of the characters, and they can tell a small little piece about their character that they're playing. How about that? Okay. Tell everybody at home your name.
I'm Kyle Spears, and I'm playing the part of Leonardo, the father of Hero, the young lady who is much maligned and slandered, and also the uncle of Beatrice. And I guess I get to be responsible for some of the dramatic parts and maybe inadvertently comedy. I don't know, but yeah, she said there's young and old. I'm one of the old ones. I was trying to add up. I started with CHP in 1996, and 23 years ago. So when my son was in Oliver, I was sitting out in the audience in rehearsals, and they said, we need a man for a small part. Can you do that? So that's how I got started, and got the theater bug. And but it's a fun play. Like I said, a lot of comedy, but some pretty serious drama, and we hope the folks can experience and feel that. So.
He's also, you can tell folks at home, the lovely set that we see. You've also played in the plays, but you've built a lot of the sets as well for CHP.
Yeah, and the last few I've been involved in, it's been more behind the scenes and set construction. And after the number of lines I've had to commit to memory almost this time, I should have stayed with set construction, but I think I'm going to get through it, and I'm not going to try to affect a British accent. In fact, no one will. We'll bring our own southern charm to Shakespeare.
Great. Well, we look forward to seeing you, Dr. Spears. Tell everybody at home your name.
I'm Justin Lindley from Lynchburg. A bit about the character. I'm Benedict. He's very charming, yet arrogant. Got a unique character about him. Lots of fun to play. This is my first show with Carriage House. I've done theater elsewhere, Lawrenceburg, Pulaski, to name a few. This is my first straight play. I've always done musicals, so it's been a new twist getting to do this. But it's been a lot of fun. Love everybody with the Carriage House. I actually got bit by the theater bug coming to watch Pride and Prejudice several years ago. I saw it on stage, and it was fantastic, and knew I had to get into it. But this has been a great experience. I learned a lot, and have gained a family from this.
All right. Well, we hope folks will come out and see you, Justin.
Yes.
All right. Tell everybody at home your name. I feel like you're a veteran.
Yes. Laura Spears. I am definitely a veteran, so I was the first of my family to be on the Carriage House stage in 1994, actually, I believe. So it's been quite a few years. Very early on, my second or third play was actually Shakespeare, Midsummer Night's Dream, and that's kind of when I got the Shakespeare bug, I guess, and that was directed by Bob Scott, who is with us on this stage. So I'm glad to be attempting Shakespeare again for the first time in over 20 years in Fayetteville, and I appreciated Krista giving me the opportunity to abridge and edit the script in a way that hopefully makes it a little more accessible to our audience. We still kept, of course, the original language for the most part. We just trimmed a few things and modernized a couple of archaic words, and hopefully our acting will be good enough to get across the meaning of what is going on in the play. What is going on in the play essentially is that you have two couples, and so Benedict and Beatrice, I did not mention, my character's name is Beatrice. We are one of the couples. We are the more comedic couple, I think. We are, as he mentioned, he's charming but arrogant. Beatrice also has a rather sharp tongue of her own, and they get into many battles of the wits. Of course, deep down, they obviously are meant to be together. And so at one point in the play, their friends and family decide to trick them into falling in love. So that's one of the romantic stories. I'll let Ben tell you about the other since he's a part of that. So Benedict and Beatrice are one of those stories, and it's been, I'll be honest, one of my dream roles that I've just always loved. It may not be my favorite Shakespeare play, but I love the character of Beatrice, and boy, auditions were stressful because even when your mom's directing, that is no guarantee. Krista is nothing if not unbiased, and I thought, oh no. I told her ahead of time, I said, I understand if you don't cast me. Just be aware I will cry, and then I will help you in whatever way I can. But fortunately, she decided that I was good enough for the role. So I am having a ball playing Beatrice, and of course, as always, being on the Carriage House stage.
Absolutely. We're excited to see you get to play your dream character.
I love it. I love her.
If you know Laura, she's not, I don't see her as a very sharp-tongued individual, so this ought to be entertaining.
You ask my students, they may disagree with you. I can, yeah. Kyle actually said to me the other day, I'm not sure if it was a compliment, but when I was questioning whether I should have taken the role at one point, and he said, no, you are Beatrice. And I said, well, is that good? And he was like, it's just what it is. So I think I can be witty at times. At least I'm always ready with a pun. They know. Something like wit, exactly. I have. The experience with the Shakespeare is probably what led me to some of that wittiness and my love of puns and wordplay.
All right. Well, we're excited to see you and the rest of the cast. We'll step down and tell everybody at home your name.
I'm Zalia Wingard. My character is Margaret in the play. She is sassy and very dramatic. She causes a whole lot of drama in the play. She's one of Hero's maiden friends. She kind of gets shoved off to the side somewhere in the middle of the play, but she gets back on top. I don't want to spoil anything too much because it's important not to spoil the play. But this is my second play with Carriage House. My first one was over the summer. I did Shrek. I was Minnie Mouse due to an unfortunate costume mix-up. So that was interesting. But I really like being here. All the people here are really nice. And I got the theater bug from my dad, Scott Wingard. He plays the Friar. And this is my second play with him, which is really great. And I'm doing this play with my best friend, Stuart, as well. He plays Seacole. And it's just a really fun experience to be able to be on stage and do something as important as Shakespeare. So it's like an honor to be able to act with these people.
Awesome. Well, great. Well, we're excited for you, and we're excited to see you on the stage as well. Okay, we have Mr. Ben Spears. I don't get you don't get to introduce yourself. I'm sorry. Okay. I feel like you and Laura are veterans, and so I feel like you guys, everybody should definitely come see you guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Let's talk a little bit about your character for this play, but also we've got some great things that are going on with Carriage House that we want to share with the folks at home.
There's always more coming up. For this show, I am Count Claudio, who is part of the prince's entourage. I'm a young nobleman, and I'm smitten with the young fair hero at the beginning of the play. And then later from that, there's a lot of drama that happens because of that relationship. And as a comedy goes, it's a confusing comedy because you're laughing, but then all of a sudden it turns another direction. You're like, wait, where are we going here? But very gullible, Claudio is. A little bit flighty in a way. So it is fun as a character to play because I get to go from different extremes of anger and love and a few other things in between. But yeah, it's an interesting character for sure. You can learn a lot from him in some ways if you pay attention the right way, in the way of, okay, do what Claudio don't do what Claudio does.
Okay, great.
Yeah, do the opposite of what Claudio does. But it's fun. It's fun.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about some of the upcoming events that we have going on with Carriage House, because we want folks at home to know about that too.
All right. So, of course, Voices of Carriage House will be doing its annual Christmas show. I believe this is our 6th or 7th now for the Christmas variety of it. Of course, we perform sometimes during the summertime as well. We've done a Disney and a Broadway and things of that nature. Our patriotic one went over extremely well very recently for that. But we'll be performing actually in Hazel Green, Alabama as our first performance. It's November the 23rd. It's 7 o'clock, and it's at Hazel Green United Methodist Church. So if you look into that, call us on the hotline, ask us how to get tickets for that, how to come down to that. Let me make sure my dates and everything were right on that. 23rd, yeah, 7 o'clock. Saturday, it's a Saturday night. And then for the rest of those performances, we'll be at the museum in Fayetteville, December 6th at 7 p.m., and then also December 7th at 2 and 7. So we'll be doing a matinee show for that and a nighttime as well.
All right, and there's some other great news. I think you guys have rolled out your 2020 season, so let's definitely tell folks about that too so they can be getting prepared and making arrangements so they can come see those as well.
For sure. So to keep up with everything, of course, we've got 12 Angry People coming up first. That'll be performances at the end of January, beginning of February. Very much if you're interested in auditioning for that, that'll be auditions November 17th and November 18th. The 17th will be an afternoon audition, and then the 18th will be a nighttime. 17th is Sunday night, and then the 18th is Monday. And so if you're interested, I'll be doing 12 Angry People, if you didn't catch it. So we'll take an adaptation of 12 Angry Men. And so females are welcome to come. That way we'll see who we have for the talent and go from there and make a good show out of it. And then after that, we'll be doing the spring show, which is going to be Double Wide Texas. It's a comedy. The summer show will be Sarah Plain and Tall. A lot of people are very familiar with that story. Glenn Close was in that years ago in the movie edition. And then the fall show will be The Shoemaker and the Elves, and that's actually, I believe, a adaptation by Mickey Johnson, and he'll be directing that as well.
All right, so there's a lot of great shows, but we don't want you. We want you to get excited about those, but don't forget about this one because this one's going to be great.
Oh, yeah. No, look into getting tickets. Go to the outlets, call the hotline, and get tickets for the show for sure.
Absolutely. So we want to remind folks the ticket outlets are Bagley & Bagley Insurance, Carter's Drugstore, Flower House. They also can call the hotline and give them that number.
433-1300.
Absolutely. Tickets are $15 for adults and $8 for students.
Yep.
So we don't want you to miss it. We want you to, and it'll be here at the Fayetteville Lincoln County Museum. You're sure to see a great show, and you won't be disappointed, I don't think, will you?
Not at all, not at all.
You're going to laugh, and you're going to have to think a little bit.
Yeah, that's Shakespeare. You have to think and laugh, or maybe you have to think to laugh sometimes. You might get tickets for 2 shows, so you can make sure you can hear everything as far as the comedy goes.
All right. Well, thank you, Ben. We thank you, the rest of the cast, for coming out today and talking to FPU's Channel 6. We hope folks will go on and get your tickets now because they will be selling quickly, and you don't want to miss this show. I think it's going to be quite funny, and it'll be a great show, and come out and support the Carriage House Players. Chris, if you want to talk real quick also about the new building. We didn't talk about that, but that's something that's really cool.
A couple of things, if I could. The Host Christmas past weekend, we're going to open up down by our new building, which is 301 Market Street. We're not able to actually occupy that at this time, but we will have some outside activities. I think the biggest draw is going to be a climbing wall. They're having cornhole, bingo, concessions, face painting, I believe a winter scene that they have for photo op. And for a lot of the folks, especially the young people, a charging station for their phones. So they're actually going to open that up as well. So that is during host on November the 9th, right? Yes. And so come on down, just past Higgins Funeral Home there to our new building. We still call it a new building. We've had it about a year now. And lots of exciting things there going on. It will be renovated in phases. It will take us a while. Now, I mentioned earlier we've been around since '87. So always since then, raising funds, trying to work toward a home of our own. It's lovely to use some of our facilities here in Fayetteville and Lincoln County, but it's a challenge for rehearsal space and set design and whatnot. So it'll be great to have a home of our own. But our next phase is, of course, as so many, is to continue raising funds towards the next phase. And we will be, have already begun some demolition inside of the building to take down walls and whatnot. And the first phase is the front section of this building, which is going to be a large lobby, event center that can service the community as well as Carriage House. And so that's the first phase there. And we have a building fund going on right now, and really have a drive going right now through the end of the year for the 100 Club. We are hoping to have 100 people to donate $100 towards that into our building fund. So that is ongoing right now. You can call the hotline at 433-1300. You can come to the show, Much Ado About Nothing, and one of those nights make a donation with any of the Carriage House folks here, or mail it in to our P.O. Box, which is 916 here in Fayetteville. And any donation is appreciated. It does not have to be the $100 club. Everything counts. And we're just working towards renovating that into a theater over the next few years. And we appreciate the community support in the past. It's gotten us to this point to have the new building. And so we've just got to forge on, get that ready. And so we do need more support from the community for that. So come on out to the show. A portion of all of our shows go straight into the building fund. So again, Much Ado About Nothing is November 7th, 8th, and 9th, 14th, 15th, 16th. All of those are evening shows at 7 p.m. And you can look us up on Facebook for more information. And I'll repeat those again on Bagley & Bagley Insurance, Carter's Drugstore, the Flower House, or call the hotline at 433-1300 for tickets. We want to pack the house.
Absolutely. We thank you, Krissa, and we thank the rest of the cast for being here this afternoon, and we thank you, the Carriage House Players, for entertaining our community so well, and we thank you, our viewers, for watching FPU's Channel 6, and we'll see you back in here next time.